What's up guys, YST here and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. And today, we are live on the test server to showcase both the new Fusion Champion in Newts, and then also the Phantom Shogun's Grove, which is going to be the new accessory dungeon launching in the foreseeable future. I'm not actually sure when this is going live in the game, like if it's going to be the same time as the Fusion or a little bit later down the line. But before we go through and actually take down this Shadowkin warrior, I just wanted to show you this, a picture of all of the raid creators, which I did post in my community page tab. But it was such an amazing day. We met up with Deadwood Jedi and his parents, really amazing people. We had the whole Hell Hades team there as well, with Fiction, Saphira, and Hell Hades, and Lady H, and Never, of course. We had Scratch there at the bottom, and also Mr. Nubby, Nub Raids, like, had a lot of time spent with him as well. And it was just amazing. Had lunch, we had dinner, and, you know, just spoke stuff outside of Raid. It was really nice to actually see all of these people in person that we've kind of spoke with over the years. So, such an amazing time, great people, and hopefully we can go and do it again. So without further ado, let's head straight back into the Shogun's Grove. And this is the team that I prepared for you guys today. But I will, of course, be showing variations of ways you can alter this if you don't have the specific champions, such as Riho Bonespear or the Prince Kaimar, which there are viable ways to do it. And it is going to be a 20-second full auto farm team, which is really cool. But the main takeaway I want you guys to see is Newt himself popping out crazy damage with that enemy max HP on that 3-time hitter. Now, I would be lying if I said there wasn't some concerns when facing this boss, and the fundamentals I thought was actually flaws. So I reached out to Plarium, mainly about the way that Stoneskin was interacting with this boss. Because the way that it's currently working is, if you've got Stoneskin on your target, whether that be the one that's supposed to have the most crit damage, the boss actually prioritizes that target with his A1 skill before it falls off, making sure that you can actually cycle all of your abilities without the need to actually interact with Unfeeble that will make your targets weak hit, which actually leads into needing taunt buffs and cleanses, right? So what I've done is I've actually taken off the Stoneskin for the first demonstration, and then I'll show you how it's interacting with the Stoneskin and what Raid told me behind the scenes. So let me just show you how I built it first without that bug at all. So the Unfeeble would go up. We place the drop defense and weaken and decrease crit rate, as they said in the, as advertised in the breakdown video. You see all that damage from Newt there as well. 10% max HP on all of those hits. We're going to get the reset from Kaimar. There we go. Drop defense and Unfeeble gets spread. We cleanse it here. 1, 2, 3. Look at all that damage. It's crazy. Heartseeker, and boom. On a 2-time speed, that's 20 seconds. On a 1-time speed, 30 seconds. And this is me not manipulating Stoneskin whatsoever. So I think that this may be a viable strategy that would be working for the longevity of time. Because we was interacting with Unfeeble, we was cleansing it, and we was using max HP to our advantage to take down this boss. So let's just try this one more time. Damage goes through. Drop defense and weaken goes out. We actually didn't get the weaken there, so we might not kill the boss. It's crazy because he actually has 350 speed, which is bonkers to even think about. So more damage going through. Can we still kill the boss, hopefully? Well, there we go. We've just dropped defense. We still managed to kill the boss. Let's go in for a round 3, because there is times when my Prince Kaimar dies, when he gets crit. We got very low there. So I built a very slow Kaimar, but I'll show you all of the builds towards the end. Heartseekers go through. Speed tune for the reset to come in here. He dies, the damage gets spread, but because we got decreased attack on the boss, we can actually survive the onslaught, right? Max HPs and boom, 21 seconds. So what we're going to do now is do a little bit of the switch of the builds, okay? So we're going to go into our champions. We've got recently used. You can see that Prince Kaimar's got no masteries. We have got random gear, and we're going very slow at 180 speed to time that reset. So we're going to do all of this live now. Let's get some Stoneskin on. And can we find Stoneskin? I'm so bad with sets. Are you guys the same as me? Or are you just like, you know where everything is? There we go. So we go fitting room. We'll just put some sets on. It doesn't matter what it is, to be honest. We want as slow as possible. Let's just get slow. The slower the better. And of course, you wouldn't really want your Kaimar to be used like this, so I'm going to show you how to use this with a Renegade and pull off the exact same thing, but it's just going to be a bit of a longer duration in terms of the time of the run, right? Let's put this piece on. Doesn't really matter, does it? Let's go here, and some boots. There we go. All right, so now we've got a full set of Stone Skin on, and I want you guys to pay close attention to the interaction of this boss now that it's active. A1. You see how before he was doing the block passive skills, which is kind of mitigating all of those crazy passives we could bring into the mix, such as Duchess Lilitu and champions of that caliber. But bringing in Stone Skin kind of takes away all of that pain that this boss is doing. And this is where I thought it was bugged, guys, and I had to get some clarification from Raid to see if it's working as intended before showcasing this segment of it. There we go. He's still only doing A1s. We've got no problems, and boom. So, in a sense, we don't even need the Riho Bone Spear here if you implement Stone Skin into it. But as you're seeing here, we're not needing the highest crit damage on our Stone Skin target, as he's prioritizing the attack on Kaimar regardless. Whereas in the previous build, when I was using it without Stone Skin, I had to put Prince Kaimar in the highest crit damage to make sure that he was the target and not anybody else. So we're going for here a round 2. Exact same thing. Drop defense and weaken. Boom, boom, boom. Man, Newt is amazing. Damage, damage. Got the cleanse there, doesn't really matter. Reset. Same again. Boom. Boom, and there we go. Now, you can get away with just simply a 1 turn of Stone Skin. I've done that before, but the 2-piece set is definitely working a lot better. Now, I don't want to take words out of their mouth, so I'm just going to express to you what was told to me behind the scenes. So I basically said, is Stone Skin supposed to be interacting in a way where the boss is going to be targeting that champion regardless of stats and all of that good stuff? Because it wasn't advertised in the guide that they showcase on their official YouTube channel. And also, it's not in any of the boss's skill in-game from what I was reading. So what was told to me is, yes, the thing with the Stone Skin is not a bug. Ajimori will be using his A1 skills on your champs that have it active. And then after that, I basically said, okay, cool. I didn't see it in the teaser video, so I wasn't aware if this is going to be a bug. And they said, yep, it wasn't. Already talked to the team to think about adding it to the description of the boss's skills potentially, not guaranteed, just to avoid any confusion. And plus, they're also double checking all the balances to be on the safe side. So it's not to say that it is going to get nerfed or if it's going to remain the same, but as of now, this is how it was intended to work, and it's not a bug in the ways that you're seeing the boss react with the Stone Skin gear on our champions. So yeah, that's basically the breakdown of that, and that's the only reason why I'm showcasing this, because they've said that it's basically working as it's supposed to be. But one other thing that I did see, which I will showcase in a separate video, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button to see other options and different teams that's more longer but still viable for this boss. It's actually the interaction with the Unfeeble debuff, because the way that it's supposed to be working, right, is that they place the block passive skills on the target and then the Unfeeble as well, that's protected. They do the debuff transfer effect, so the Unfeeble's on everybody, which those ones you can cleanse off, just not the initial target. And then he also places those extra attacks, right, on the targets under Enfeeble, and they get those weak hits with his A1. Attacks all enemies under Enfeeble. But what's actually happening is, once I've cleansed it, he's still attacking those targets in a sense, which we are on a test server. As long as it's not in the live server, it should be completely fine. But it's just something worth noting. Before it does go live into the game, right? The last thing I want is for players to build up their teams, and then Unfeeble's getting cleansed and they're building it as intended, and then boom, their champions are just dying for no apparent reason. So that's one thing that it's kind of I'm skeptical about making a separate video about, because if people replicate it and they don't fix Unfeeble, then it's not going to be a viable strategy for consistency. So as promised, let me just switch this team up a little bit. Take out the Riho Bone Spear. Take out the Kaimar. We're going to put in Renegade and Lydia the Death Siren. So we've got a free champion in Lydia, Newt Fusion, Rare Reset, and 2 Cold Hearts, which could be replaced by a Husk or a Royal Guard for the later stages. So we can go drop defense and weaken. We got resisted there, unfortunately. Lydia, please, we're trying to record a video. There we go. I'm going to show you the gear on her on this champion. It's laughable, pretty much. And go through the Bless Bash. So I believe that the boss is going to have 4.1 million HP because we're getting 10% cap at 410k. So that's interesting to know. See that 409 every time. 409, yeah. And then now we're going to get the reset with the Renegade, who still has the stone skin on, basically stopping everything that the boss is doing. So reset. Come through with another nuke. Boom, boom, boom. I haven't got presets for this one, guys, so I'm going to have to basically go through it. And unfortunately here, we're actually going to maybe take some hits. There we go. We actually took a big smack there. But we're going to come through and then boom. But there is times where that doesn't happen. Let's try that again. This one's not completely speed tuned. It's more of just the theory of if you can alter this in the optimal way to your advantage, that is still a very viable strategy. I just think that my Cold Hearts are just not fast enough to cycle their skills efficiently here. Because this is only a 210 reset. So here, we're going to get the reset on now. Oh, the crease attack would have been nice there. The crease attack would have been nice. She's still got stone skin on. This is good. So right here, as long as the boss takes another turn now, it's fine. We're going for another nuke. Boom, boom, boom. Cold Heart, take the Heartseeker, and finished. So still a very viable strategy, but you just have to alter the speeds and what you're doing and the ways to do that. But if there is any changes to Stone Skin, this would have to be altered completely because Renegade wouldn't be able to survive the onslaught in the ways that I built it today. So we're kind of using that Stone Skin to our advantage. So just to briefly go into here, Newt is in a build that's mainly just for Hydra boss, nothing insane. We got crit rate, crit damage, no accuracy, high sustainability. And yeah, pretty decent build. I wanted to show a versatile one because this is the way that I would be using mine elsewhere in like the Hydra and stuff, or maybe a Relentless build and stuff. So having a way to use it elsewhere, then also in the Shogun's Grove and not have two separate builds is definitely beneficial. Lady Death Siren, basically just a random build that I use for Doom Tower. High enough accuracy and stuff. We got Cold Heart in random gear that I used to use on Spider 25. Still use one of them for it. Mastery wise, we have like Helm Smasher around the board. We got Giant Slayer on Newt, so we're not even like optimizing him in that sense. To make sure that we're reaching that 10% threshold cap. As usually I'd have him in Savage. This is where I said that my issues were coming into effect, or the ways I thought it was kind of broken in a way. Because I don't think it's intended for it to be like this, where we're not using any crit damage to our advantage to deter the hits. It's basically just Stone Skin. So maybe that's something they might change. Maybe they might change it. You might need crit damage on your Stone Skin target. But if they're saying it's intended to work like this, I just got to run with it, right? I'm going to have to use it how it is. Prince Kaimar, this is the Stone Skin build. But prior to this, I had it in crit damage for without the Stone Skin. So if there is any changes to that, I do want to tell you guys, it would still be very viable. But you'd have to use a cleanser in your team, such as Riho Bone Spear, to cleanse the Unfeeble buff so you're not getting those weak hits from your allies. But if you've got Stone Skin on him, then you don't need the cleanser, and you can use Roz and Scarhide, Lady the Death Siren, and still take that boss down. But I make sure that he's the slowest in rotation at 126, so the Stone Skin doesn't fall off, which is kind of the downside, right? We want to have our Prince Kaimar in fast gear for elsewhere, unless you've got multiple that you can use one for this alone. Which is where I would probably be using Renegade on my main account once it goes live. But yeah, guys, that is going to be all for today's video, I guess. Just wanted to show you the fundamentals of the Shogun's Grove using the speed farm strategy. As I said before, I'll be showcasing some other ways to use teams against that boss and also ways to use Newt against other encounters. And let me know which kind of ways you want to see the new fusion being used, because I will be doing a deep breakdown. I'll show you his animation. It's actually really cool. We've got Mountain King that comes out. Watch this. Mountain King, boom, and he smacks and he does a nice amount of damage there. But yeah, let me know where you guys want me to showcase him. Probably in my mind, Hydra Boss, Faction Wars, and the Finite Hard Mode, right? That's one of his main areas. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, I'd appreciate a little like and subscription. Have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in a video soon. Peace.